Hey guys, it's Jay from ASMR for Nerds. So today we're just doing another comic shop. We're up to number 9 now, so we're getting there, almost number 10. I don't know, maybe I'll do something special for number 10 if I could think of something. For this video I will be eating these rainbow nerds as requested by a viewer. It is appropriate for the new channel name and all that. So this week is not a huge week. I didn't buy a ton, although there were a lot of books that I was interested in. But I didn't go for them because I'm still kind of recovering from the holidays financially. So I put some aside that I'll probably pick up next week or within the next couple of weeks, I hope. So with that said, getting right into the first issue, we have the one I'm most excited about this week. In fact, I bought 2 copies of this. One, of course, is the variant, which I will show you right now. And I'm not sure who the artist is of this, so maybe let's take a look. Interesting, I don't see any credits. Oh. So variant covers are done by Marco Rudy and Cliff Chang. Now I don't know. I'm gonna guess this is the Marco Rudy variant. That's a guess. So don't hold me to that. So right away, I'm gonna bag this one up because these are the same issue, just different cover. Now I did that bagging video last week and it seemed to really take off, where I wasn't talking at all and just bagging. I would, oh no, I was mushing that one a little bit. I would do more of those, except I'm not sure if there's really a need for multiple ones. If that worked for you, I don't know, you guys could let me know if you want to see more of those, if just doing that same thing in a different video would make a difference, or if you could just revisit that when you want those good bag tingles. So let's take a look through this one. Silver Surfer #1 by writer Dan Slott, artist Michael Allred, and Michael Allred's wife, who is the colorist, Laura Allred. And if you look at the cover here, you will realize that Laura Allred's colors are just as important as Michael Allred's drawings. She's amazing. Look at these colors. Blues and purples and pinks. So, this is, although this is a #1, it's kind of just starting off where, although I didn't read this issue yet, where the last series left off. Same writer, same artist. And the last series was great. I think it's one of the best things Marvel has put out. I was afraid it was going to get canceled because I don't think its sales numbers were that great. But I don't. So, the first run with Mike Allred and Dan Slott is one that I would highly recommend if you're interested in reading comics. That's a great place to start, especially if you're into like a more, if you want to try Marvel, but you kind of like the more indie, sort of strange feel, or if you're into like weird cosmic stuff. Silver Surfer #1 by Mike Allred and Dan Slott would be amongst the couple that I would suggest to start with. You could get the trade paperback, which is out. I believe all of them are out, so you could read the whole run. Oh, that's cool. Next issue is going to have the thing. So, that was just a quick look. Silver Surfer #1. This is after Secret Wars ended. Or actually, even before it ended. But the plan was, after it ended, it kind of went on longer than they planned. They kind of gave a reboot to a lot of issues. Here's another one. Uncanny X-Men. So this one is written by Cullen Bunn, who is he's writing a bunch of things now. He's working on Drax the Destroyer alongside CM Punk, the wrestler. He wrote Carnage vs. Deadpool. I know he wrote some other Deadpool stuff. And so this is the Uncanny X-Men #2. So in the Marvel universe right now, the Inhumans are kind of the Darrigan mist that's spreading around the world is kind of waking up all the descendants of the Inhumans. For those of you who don't know the Inhumans story, very quickly, I've told you guys this before, so I'll be very quick. This mist that originates from this island, I forgot where it's supposed to be. If you are a descendant of the Inhumans, the mist will transform you into, you'll have some sort of mutation. And what's happening now is, I'll read it to you. Darrigan mists were released across the globe, whittling down mutant kinds' numbers and suppressing any new mutant manifestations. So the Darrigan mist actually affects the mutants. X-Men and Magneto, and those are mutants. And Inhumans are different, they're Inhumans. So there's kind of this, there's a threat to mutants. The Darrigan mist is a threat to mutants. To stem the threat of extinction, Magneto is joined by a team of the most ruthless mutants alive. Together, they intercepted a Someday Corporation transport carrying suspicious cargo. Mutants who had paid to enter a state of suspended animation, hoping to one day wake in a Darrigan-free world. Rather than allowing the freed mutants to remain in stasis, Magneto turned them away, and one mutant with the ability to heal was quickly met by a gruesome fate. The Dark Riders have returned, and they're gunning for mutant healers. So in the first issue, the Uncanny X-Men, which is different than the Extraordinary X-Men and the All-New X-Men, found some mutants. One in particular was a mutant that heals. so far, although it's only been one issue. I really liked it. I kind of like the bad guy take, the bad guys who kind of are trying to do good or what they think is good, but they're bad guys. So, and I like the art, although this looks more like art that I wouldn't be into. It's kind of in between, like the Chris Samnee. I would say this looks like a mix of Chris Samnee and Humberto Ramos. Who is the artist? The artist is Land. Let's see, Greg Land. Interesting. So I'm kind of into his art. Bold lines, solid colors. They're still pushing this Agent Carter. I've never met anyone who watches it. If you guys watch it, I think I've asked you this before, but let me know if it's good, because I don't plan on watching it. This is an event that I know nothing about that's going to happen soon. The prelude to spring's blockbuster Avengers event. Nick Spencer, Mark Bagley, covered by Daniel Acuna. It's an event called Standoff. Welcome to Pleasant Hill. Now this logo really reminds me of the Fallout logo, the video game, which I started and put a good amount of hours into, maybe 50 hours or so. But I gotta say, for some reason, although I think it's a great game, it kind of lost my interest and I haven't picked it up in weeks. This is Star Wars. This is art I recognize from Terry Dodson, one of my favorite artists. Although I really like the art in this book, like I said, Greg Land. I'm going to remember that name, Greg Land. Greg Land. Okay. So that was the Uncanny X-Men #2 by Cullen Bunn. Okay, next. One of my favorite runs. Miss Marvel, and this is a great cover. Help Miss Marvel clean up Jersey City. So this is another one, post Secret Wars. I'll let you know what's going on. Whoops. When estranged Derek and Mist descended upon Jersey City, Kamala Khan was imbued with polymorph powers, using her new abilities to fight evil and protect Jersey City. Recently, Miss Marvel discovered that Hydra, disguised as a real estate company, has been brainwashing residents and evicting them from their homes and businesses, and they're using Miss Marvel as their poster child. To make matters worse, they've got Bruno under control. Bruno is her best friend, and there's like an unspoken, or not unspoken, but between them, there's like this romantic element. That's Bruno. Miss Marvel is another one I'd recommend if you're looking to get into comics, especially if you're interested in a kind of quirky, funny, but really likable and kind of, obviously different ethnicity. So she's got a lot of things going for her. She's a bit different, due to her popularity. she is now an Avenger, as we have seen in the last comic shop video. We took a look at all new, all different Avengers, I believe number 3, with Nova and Miles Morales. So, that's it. Just a quick look. Miss Marvel, number 3. Now this is also the second run of this creative team, which is fine with me because they did a great job with the first one. Next, sticking with the female protagonists, we have Captain Marvel, number 1. This is the third Captain Marvel number 1 in I think 3 years. The writer before this was Kelly Sue DeConnick, who is the wife of Matt Fraction. Let's read the first page. Is it weird that I'm choosing this moment to take stock of my life? Yeah, probably. Got a visual, here they come. Time to impact, 3 minutes. Leave the big ones to me. But what I've realized about myself is pretty simple. It's not that I'm a violent person. It's just that some things really, really need punching. Cha-boom. And I am very good at punching things. Let's see. Maybe we do want to, you know what? I haven't done this in a while. So I'm going to, before we take a look at the rest of the books, actually, you know what? We'll come back to this. I think I'm going to read through this one. Give you guys a feel for this. So I'm going to put this aside. And just like we did in the first bunch of comic shop videos, I will read through one. But yeah, saving it for the end. Check this out. Here we have, this is not a new comic, but it was one I looked for. Obviously, this week, David Bowie passed, and I thought this was a surprise that this was in the shop, although it's not in the best condition. This is Madman number 15, Madman Atomic Comics, not the Madman, with like a David Bowie homage. So, I've read this a while ago. I have it in trade, and but we'll take a look anyway, just because Madman is so great. Madman is always in this existential sort of funk. Very strange character, but one of the most important, and I think one of the best independent comic book characters out there. I'd say he's up there with Hellboy. A lot of great colors. Look at that. Now, Madman's name is Frank Einstein, which is a play off of Frankenstein, obviously, and he's named after Frank Sinatra and Albert Einstein. So I'm going to put this in a bag. I just wanted to show you guys that. If there are any Bowie fans out there. I don't know if you guys ever watched Flight of the Conchords, but there's a great episode where they do Next, Captain America #5. Now this series is it's great so far. This is Sam Wilson, Captain America. And I know they are bringing back Steve Rogers as Captain America very soon, but I hope they keep Sam Wilson Captain America too, because the story is excellent. They're up to where this is issue #5, so you could probably still get your hands on #1, 2, 3, and 4. And it's I highly recommend it. It's got there's a lot of social commentary in it, but at the same time there's humor elements and like good action, and it's Captain America's a werewolf. It's crazy, but it's really good. It's like, I don't know. To me, it just feels like what comic books should be. Just a mixture of all these elements that make it just a great story. So in this story, we have Captain America, who's a wolf. Misty, who's like kind of a tough girl. And then, so his Falcon, Sam Wilson's Falcon, was kind of like morphed with a human by a mad scientist, the same scientist who made him a werewolf. So he's like his new, he's the new Falcon, I guess. Seeing there's a lot of elements of, Captain America choosing sides between the right and the left. There's some political commentary in here, and it looks like the next issue says Battle on Wall Street. Sam Wilson, it's not stated precisely, but Sam Wilson does kind of take the side of the left wing, where Steve Rogers advised him not to get involved or not to voice his opinion, because now there's a rift in America. Not everyone is backing this new Captain America because of that. Which is a very interesting story and very topical. Next, we have Hawkeye #3. This is written by Jeff Lemire. Famous for Sweet Tooth, Lost Dogs, Underwater Welder, Essex County. Currently writing Extraordinary X-Men, Bloodshot, The Descender, all these books. He's great. And this Hawkeye run is really good too. Team Hawkeye is no more. Following Clint's decision to give up protecting the Project Communion kids, Kate can no longer trust him as her partner. Decades later, they have reunited and rescued one of the kids from the Mandarin. Now they embark to take down the force behind it all, S.H.I.E.L.D. So this is a story that, if you could tell by the artwork does change when they go back and forth through time, so that's fine. So this page, this is the current times. And this art means it's in the future. Current times. And this story arc is kind of telling you how the relationship between Kate Bishop and Clint kind of evolves. These kids, that's what they were referring to when it said Project Communion. They are kind of living weapons, extremely powerful, but they have the minds of children. Kate has a affection for them, and Clint is kind of afraid of them. Seeing this art is from the first story arc in the series, and this is a flashback. So we have a flashback, we have current times, and then we have the future. The flashbacks are done in like watercolor. So Clint is spending time with his brother. That's who he is. Okay, so next. This is what I'm excited for. This is called Amazing Forest. Now, I don't know anything about the story, but I do know Farinas and Freitas, the writer and the artist, or I think they might both be writers too. I think they're both artists as well. They did this one-shot book maybe 2 years ago called Gamma, and it was so good. It was like a crazy, almost like Western mixed with Pokemon, mixed with, I don't know, violence. It's called Gamma, and I think, if I remember correctly, Image put it out. If you could find that one, you should, especially if you're like a Pokemon fan, because it has a lot of themes from that. But it's not childish. So based on how much I loved that book, I bought this one. They're also the team that's currently working on the new Judge Dredd. Now, I don't know what's going on in this story at all. But I see here there's two different kinds of art, which is an interesting choice. I am strong because my mama is strong. Oh, look, there's like another artist here. So I don't know if this is a collection of stories or if this all connects. I mean, I guess I could tell you guys next week. The Bird Watcher. So this appears to me to be a collection of stories. And I guess this is a story coming out soon. Ghostbusters International. Welcome to New York. So this was a quick look at Amazing Forest #1. Just gonna play with this bag for a bit. Next, we have Ringside #2. I bought this. I bought issue 1, knowing nothing about it other than the writer. I was a wrestling fan when I was a kid, and a bunch of my friends are still into wrestling, and so I kind of watch it with them sometimes. We'll watch the pay-per-view events every once in a while just for fun. They're ridiculous, but so I thought I'd give this wrestling-themed comic a try. And I liked the first issue. It was like a guy who was a retired wrestler who had no interest in coming back, kind of being courted. And there's this, I forgot exactly. I'm going to need to refresh my mind, my memory. But I remember liking it a lot, so I'm trying issue number 2. Ringside is written by Joe Keatinge, drawn by Nick Barber, the colorist is Simon Go. Next, Super Zero number 2. Now, based off of the covers of this, it doesn't look too impressive. I'm not a fan of the covers. And like I said in my last comic shop video, I think it's the last one, maybe the one before it, where I showed you guys number 1. I told you that this book was suggested by Chicho in one of his videos. He's an ASMR guy. You probably know if you watch my videos because he's more popular than me and he does comic books. So he said this issue 1 was great, and so I gave it a shot, and he was right, it really was. This story is about a young girl who so desperately wants to be a superhero. So she's going through these dramatic things to try to create an origin story of her own. So the last issue, she tried to hire a homeless guy to mug her parents. Not kill them, but mug them. To kind of recreate Batman's story. And instead, that homeless guy told their parents he was worried about her and kind of ratted her out. So, the next thing she tries is she instigates a fight with bullies at school who beat her up pretty bad. And then has her friend collect, well, she asked for spiders, but she collected ants. And her plan was to go through like an MRI or CAT scan with the ants on her, hoping that irradiates the ants that will bite her and give her, powers. So when she's knocked out from falling, from running around because the ants are biting her, she has this dream. And she's quite convinced that her dreams are real. So, I'm not going to tell you what happens in the end, but because this is one I also suggest you give it a shot. Only up to number 2, so definitely worth the read, especially if you're a comic book fan. There's a lot of references to comic book characters and stories. This is like a book for comic book fans, I think. this week, I told you it wasn't a big week, is another one I've showed you. This is number 2. I picked up a not so great copy. This one's kind of beat up, but that's okay. Called The Troop. This one's basically about people out in the world who have these powers. It's kind of a darker take on it. And so people have these powers, and there's these 2 groups. One is led by a billionaire who is implied he's a good guy. And the other group, it's implied that they're bad guys. Like the FBI trying to take them to dissect them, opposed to the billionaires trying to take them and hide them. Now I think their intentions both aren't too good, but we'll find out. So far this is a really good series. I read this issue, I read number 1, and I'm gonna add it to my pull list because I do like it a lot. Let's say the praise it's getting. It's gritty, it's dark, an entertaining read. Every beat is masterfully done. A very strong first issue and definitely worth the read. So, who knows? I haven't looked at what the reviews are from all the sources that I normally get my comic book reviews, but I like it. It's published by Titan Comics, who I think generally they don't put out a lot, but they put out quality books. Okay. So because we have time, I'm going to read to you guys Captain Marvel number 1. Now the reason I read you books is not to give the stories out for free. I'm hoping that those who might not be into comics or these particular comics might be turned on by getting a read through the number 1s that might make them want to start the stories themselves and continue it. So I don't know if this one's good. I don't know anything about it, but we're reading it for the first time together here. So we already read the first page, if you remember. She is very good at punching things. Woohoo! Like bullseyeing womp rats in a... Wait, what's the line? Puck, your 3 o'clock, watch out. Alright, Kay, great shot. Cut the chit-chat and pay attention, will you? Oh, so it looks like our team is Puck, Aurora, and Sasquatch. I will do that for you, Aurora. There's a simplicity in this, an elegance, everything is black and white. Captain, you're 6. The vectors are getting harder to predict. They're ricocheting. The vectors are getting harder to predict. They're ricocheting. Everybody pull it back a little. And even when you're getting clobbered, at least you know where you stand. Danvers, 3 o'clock. Gray areas are not my thing. I prefer black and white, usually. Captain, get out of there. Captain. Still, this might have been a really bad idea. Captain Marvel in Rise of the Alpha Flight. The Triskelion yesterday. Don't tell me that's all you're bringing. Good news about the new haircut, Rhodey. I'm super low maintenance now. I want you to take a look at my hairstyle, because if I was deploying for 2 years, I'd sure as hell bring more than a backpack. I'll do laundry. That's War Machine, Lieutenant James Rhodes. Gotta be honest, I'm surprised you took this gig. Didn't really think I could turn it down. I would've. Oh honey, you're terrible at pep talks. I'm just saying I've got enough headaches on this planet. I don't need to leave the atmosphere for more. You've been a member of a team, but now you're gonna be the coach. It's different. Good. Different is what I want. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you can't do it. Oh no, why would I think you're saying that? I'm just worried you won't like it. Does that matter? Does being happy matter? Yeah, a little bit. My advice to you is this. In the field, you gotta make fast decisions, snap judgments. Kick like this, that doesn't always serve. Think before I swing. Something like that. You know, you don't have to exile yourself. You're the only one who can fly back down anytime you want. It's not exile, it's commitment. You can always come up and visit. I just might do that. Going up. He's worried I won't like it. Oh, Rhodey loves me. 2 years on a space station in geostationary orbit, 250 kilometers above the Earth's surface. What's not to like? It sounds crazy, but I'm not lying when I say I didn't feel like I could turn it down. Earth's first line of defense, they're calling it. I like being on a team, but more than that, I like a mission, a purpose, and the best way to fight threats against the galaxy is making sure they never get there. Besides, I'm not one to sit still for long, not when you could get a view like this. That is the Alpha Flight space station. A couple of years out of the spotlight isn't a bad thing. It'll be nice to be normal for a while, or at least my version of normal. Attention, Alpha Flight officer on deck. Sir, yes, sir. Oh boy. Eugene Judd, people call me. Buck, glad to work with you. Quite the welcome committee. Everybody's just excited to meet you. Come on, I'll give you the door. That'll have to wait. Our celebrity is late for a meeting with the Eridani delegation. Commander Danvers, welcome to the Alpha Flight space station. That's Abigail Brand, Alpha Flight Lieutenant Commander. Abigail Brand, please call me Carol. Thanks for having me on board. Don't thank me. This orbiting tin can isn't my problem, it's yours. Before you go, Cap, could I bug you for an autograph? It's from my sister. It's for me. The Eridani contracted to do all the waste removal for the station. We're up and running and suddenly they want to renegotiate. Spa, gym, meditation room. You've got to be kidding me. Captain, are you fully appreciating the importance of this negotiation? None of these rooms were in the original specs. When did this station become a resort? Necessary upgrades. Deploying for years, away from family and friends at home. That's hard on normal people. As someone at the top of the command structure, I'd expect you to understand that. Brand hates me. Lieutenant Commander Brand, requisitions to sign, ma'am. Lieutenant Commander Brand, requisitions to sign, ma'am. Danvers, what's shaking? First day on the job. Sorry, hate first days, little help. Guardians and me are on a pit stop before we deploy, just needed some supplies. No, well yeah. So you're stealing a bunch of stuff. You know I like you, Rocket, but as commander of this station, I feel like I can't let you steal a nuke. Commander of the whole shebang. No kidding. Weird. What's so weird? Just surprised is all. Captain Marvel takes a desk job. Aren't you gonna be bored? It's not a desk job. Sure, whatever. Just seems like you should be out kicking butt with us, not locked up in a floating crock pot. Captain, the delegation is waiting in the conference room. Desk job. Included are all forms of organic, inorganic, non-biodegradable, and or other specimens at 75 units per cubic meter, graduating to 100 units per cubic meter after you exceed 10,000 square meters. I'm going to kill Rocket, and after that I'm going to kill Rhodey. She's kind of bored with this. In the event that radiation levels of industrial waste exceed 50 microsieverts, the great Captain Marvel talking about garbage. Are we boring you, Captain Marvel? Or would you prefer the Alpha Flight space station be as polluted as that planet you call home? Excuse me. The captain's only just arrived and is acclimating to her new position. Please don't be offended by her behavior. See, I was listening. Commander, sensors have detected a massive asteroid collision. Debris will be in range in less than 20 minutes. Ensign, your timing is impeccable. Captain, the Alpha Flight can handle it. You are needed here. You can handle this brand. Besides, he likes you better. Alpha Flight, assemble. Captain, get out of there, Captain. Well, if I go out now, at least I know all there is to know about waste management. Oof. Captain, on your 6. I'm on it, Aurora. Nice save, Sasquatch. Can you see her? Heads up, I got this. Well, now I just feel like she's showing off. Sensors look clear. Nothing bigger than a bread box anymore. Good work, Alpha Flight. That was a nice shot, Walt. Saved my tail. Couldn't let you do all the work. You should check out the showers, Cap. The rain feature is delightful. I will have got meteor dust in every crevice. Well, let me know if you need help with that. Very kind of you, Eugene. You're a cretin. I jinxed myself. Would have thought 12 rounds with an asteroid field would have tuckered you out, Danvers. Feeling like a sitting duck keeps me awake. Can't sleep either. Don't sleep. Usually. Side effect of being bite-sized. Everything hurts. That's awful. I'm sorry. Just the way it is. Bonus of not sleeping is I get to take up new hobbies. I'll knit the hell out of a scarf for you. Make it a red one. Sorry you took this gig yet. Takes more than somebody throwing rocks to scare me off. Though Brand would be happy to see me go. What makes you say that? Barely concealed hostility isn't usually lost on me. Brand doesn't do social interactions real well, but she's squared away, saved my bacon more than once. I don't doubt it, but it's pretty obvious she wanted this job, and they gave it to me. Actually, she turned it down. Captain Marvel, I found something. I thought I told you to sleep, Wendy. I know, but I got an idea. Here's a satellite image of asteroid 16 Tsars moments before it exploded. Here it is magnified 50 times. See that white dot? It's an alien ship. How can you tell? Because it has an energy signature, and it matches one known alien species in our database. Security, this is Danvers. Wake up the Eridani delegation. Slap some cuffs on them and take them to the detention module. Ma'am, you heard me, and don't call me ma'am. Yes, sir. This is an outrage. I demand to speak to the highest authority. Great news, you're speaking to her. What the hell is this? An Eridani ship caused the asteroid explosion. They're sabotaging us. Are you sure about this? Go talk to Kowalski yourself. I never argue with science. This act is tantamount to a declaration of war, Captain. I'm not arguing, but you're about to ignite a diplomatic nightmare. And I was worried this was going to be a boring desk job. Sensors picked up an alien vessel on direct approach. Is it an Eridani ship? No. Doesn't match anything we've ever seen. They're not responding to hails. How long before it reaches us? 30 minutes until firing range. Wake up, Alpha Flight. Some kind of warships look ancient. Communications open line. This is Captain Marvel, commander of the Alpha Flight space station. Please acknowledge. So much for diplomacy. Take it out, Alpha Flight. Carol, they're concentrating all their firepower on you. I've noticed. I'll knock out the big guns. Try to locate their targeting systems. Got it. Hit the array on the stern. Targeting destroyed their toothless, but still moving forward at top speed, headed directly toward the station. On it. Engines are overheating. Well, let's introduce ourselves, shall we? Whoosh. Whoa. This is Brand. What do you see? This doesn't make any sense. What is it, Carol? What do you see? It's me. Okay. So that was Captain Marvel #1. Looks like a, one of those space kind of Federation stories. I don't know what else to call it, but my feelings on it, it was okay. Would I read #2? Maybe. It didn't intrigue me enough to definitely want #2, but if it's a small week, if there's not a lot to buy, I might give #2 a shot. Usually I'll give things a shot 1, 2, and then maybe 3 before I decide to put it in my pull box. Alright guys, that's it for today. I will see you guys real soon. I was thinking of my next video being reading to you guys a Tim and Eric book that I got for Christmas. So I haven't even looked at that yet, so I feel like this would be a good chance. So look forward to that. Until then,